Don't know how we got here. We all knew the scary parts of Game 7s, but not many of us would have predicted that the Phillies would drop Game 7. I guess I could say welcome. If you're joining us, welcome into PHLY Phillies podcast. Jamie Lynch, Renee Washington, Tyler Zulli. Not a good day. Not a good day. I know we have plenty of people in here that are thrilled because the Phillies lost, and you are fans of every other team besides the Phillies, but definitely shocked the world today, shocked all of us. It just kept feeling like at some point this series, the Phillies were going to figure things out. But to drop 4 of the last 5, 3 of those games, you scored 2 or less runs, unable to get on base even. You know, we talk a lot about the bullpen. Can't win games if you're not scoring, though, on the other side. Doesn't matter what changes you make in the bullpen if you're not able to score. And now makes us have to wonder, what does the future hold? That's a huge choke job, Bill. Absolutely. Brotherly choke. I mean, that is by far one of the most disappointing postseason chokes that we've seen, definitely in Philly, but in sports in a very long time. Very shocked. Wow.
Wow. I hate that I'm a sports fan. Like, I wish I was crocheting tonight or reading a new murder mystery novel, doing something other than being emotionally invested in Philadelphia sports. But here we are. This is why we love it, right? We get to cry together and commiserate. The bottom line is this. Your biggest players came up very tiny. There's a lot to analyze from this. You know, I have some buddies on text message that are pissed at Topper. You're really not going to – it doesn't matter if Bruce Bochy is managing this team. If you hit, like, I don't know what the final numbers are, but, like, by my last calculations, they were batting 142 with runners in scoring position. And it probably got worse because I believe that didn't include the Trey Turner and Bryce Harper 7th inning situation, which was, in all reality, your best crack at it. So you have over $700 million of John Middleton's money invested in Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, and Nick Castellanos. And I believe they went 0 for 23 in games 6 and 7. So that's a very expensive loss. And, you know, look, I know the Diamondbacks have kind of caught a little bit of magic here and hit that playoff secret sauce, whatever it is. But it's also a team that won 84 games this year and had a negative run differential. That is an all-time Philadelphia choke job that we just witnessed. All time.
Yeah. And there's several ways to carve this up. The point is the Phillies just did not show up. And I don't care how much history you have made. We talked about this in one of our earlier shows. This team made a lot of records and was having these historic plays and moments. None of that matters if when the lights are shining brightest, you don't show up. And the Phillies did not do that. After games 1 and 2, it's a 7-game series. You don't win a series in the first 2 games. I don't care if you did beat up on a team 10-0. You can't then turn around. And I know that there was a ridiculous stat that 5 of 47 runners in score position, that was before the game was even over, throughout the course of this series, excluding that 10-0 victory. You can't continue to make the same mistakes over and over again to continue to have stretches. I mean, I was looking back at all the games, and every single loss in the final innings, the Phillies haven't been able to do anything. Zeros. So when the game matters most, money's on the line, game's on the line, you're not even able to get a hit. You're not even able to forget a run. You're not even able to get on base. And you cannot have stretches in the most pivotal points of the game, at the beginning, at the end, these inconsistencies. You're all over the place. In the playoffs, we're not, I mean, what are we talking about here?
Well, the discussion in the coming days is going to be this. The Phillies are built for the long ball. And if you don't get the long ball, you're not going to win. And you saw it tonight with shitty fundamentals. Trey Turner, don't know why you stopped bunting after the first foul ball, because if you get a runner over there, Bryce's fly ball to the warning track ties the game. Nick Castellanos, you have to put a ball in play there. You have to drive something to the outfield. Corbin Carroll, when presented with the same exact situation, a runner on third and one out, 2 innings later, got a fly ball to deep right center field. So it's almost as if small ball and fundamental baseball is going to beat the big bopper team. And that's what this discussion is going to become. Are the Phillies built for success? And while yes, in some degree it's successful, I don't know. And a super chat from a Diamondbacks fan. You paid money to. I'm not.
Listen, it can't be home run or bust. That can't be it.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the question.
Barbara was talking about like changes, who's getting fired. Listen, it's 2 years in a row that this team has had the pieces to be able to win a championship and fell short. And then this year, having more expectation, you have the series up 2-0 and you blow it. And listen, the other part that we talked about is we enjoy the fact that this team is dancing, they're at Xfinity, they're celebrating, they're snarky with reporters and very short in their answers. Now you just look like cocky, stupid, players, because when you actually are expected to play and step up, you're nowhere to be found. So you need to back it up. You want to be this team that's fun and dancing. Where is that fun energy when you need someone to step up in the dugout? I think that's my biggest issue. If we're having a post-game celebration right now, you're getting plenty of voices. You're seeing plenty of energy. You're seeing them pick each other up. Why don't you pick each other up when you are in a must-win Game 7 or a game-clinching Game 6? And I know I said this in the post-game yesterday. That's the time to pick each other up. That's the time that whether you're Garrett Stubbs or Bryce Harper, you should be the most vocal. And I know we've said this team leads by example. That's nonsense, because you can't be a team that is only good when things are going well, and when you can't score, can't hit, leaving runners stranded, bullpens all over the place. Now all of a sudden you've got no answers and everyone's quiet. It's crickets. So this team needs to figure some things out in more than one way, because you can't be the team that's cocky, breaking records, and then turning around and falling short and choking all the time. Because that's not it. I don't care how much money you're paying people. Doesn't matter if you get into the biggest moments. And we see Corbin Carroll, we see Marte stepping up. Where are the Phillies guys? Where's Bryce Harper? Zach Wheeler comes out, does well. Ranger does well. Alec Boehm, even, who we've been giving so much heat to, comes out, does well. Where is everybody else? Trey, Kyle, JT, Nick, where are you? In the biggest moments, nowhere to be found. Crickets, zeros across the box score. It's just absolutely unacceptable to have a pompous, cocky attitude and then turn around and you can't even step up. You got to back it up and you got to perform, period.
Yeah. I don't really know who played well in this NLCS, which sounds weird outside of, I guess, Kyle Schwarber and Zach Wheeler and Ranger Suarez.
That's all I got.
So Hoffman was solid, but you're talking about a handful of players you can look to as really kind of either stepping their game up or just, getting to status quo. Bryson Stott looked lost. Alec Boehm looked lost. Rob Thompson continued to make some weird moves. The Phillies, my overriding thought is the fundamentals of this team were equivalent to a bad high school baseball team. Why would you not try and keep a runner on a base at any point? Why would you not put Corbin Carroll on in certain situations tonight? Why would you continue to pull righties to face a righty with two lefties up behind them twice? Why would you abandon a bunt after one attempt?
Bases loaded.
Boehm in the 4-hole ended up paying off for him a little bit because of the home run, but I think when you look back on it, you're going to look back because everybody's going to want to, I've already gotten texts and tweets about it, fire Rob Thompson, fire Rob Thompson. While I think Thompson wasn't great, I just don't know what manager is going to be able to get that team to win when basically 1 through 9, you're inept. Everybody was simultaneously inept. And I thought one of the big mistakes tonight, because it was one of the biggest situations in the game, was not pinch hitting for Johan Rojas. And what was that,
Bases
the fourth inning?
Loaded at that time.
I would have gone Christian Pache, and you can't equate his later inning walk that he drew to a bases loaded situation. But Johan Rojas was basically like a pitcher up there in the batter's box this series. So anybody would have been a better option. You felt the team pressing. I think they were all in their head in the batter's box, and it's scrambled eggs up there.
It is. And there are major moments throughout the course of the game when bases were loaded. I think it was, 2-2 at the time? 2-1? Also, you had a time or several times, I should say, where we saw the Diamondbacks stealing bases, because that's something that they do very well. And Corbin Carroll steals second, ends up scoring, helps the Diamondbacks take the lead. These are the things that we've talked about on this show and everybody's talked about. Those small details, the fundamentals that you're not paying attention to, you're not aware of, and it's coming back to cost you the season now, not just games. The season, because you're not able to manage the game. And that goes for everyone. I know you guys are talking about Topper. Honestly, I'm not the biggest Rob Thompson fan, because I do think there are always things that can be proactively done. At the end of the day, for any sport, a coach is not the one playing. So yes, there's like a balance to it, but it is still there for Rob. It's his role and his job to find a way to get these guys going. Nick Castellanos hasn't had a hit since game 1 of this series. You have back-to-back multi-homer games, and then you turn around and you can't get a hit. We've obviously talked about the struggles of everybody else throughout the batting order, but your big names, Trey, Kyle, Bryce, where are you?
Well,
so it's
I had a horrible premonition at 4:41 this afternoon when I saw MLB account tweet out a picture of Bryce Harper walking in the stadium. And I know people in the chat might go like, oh, dude, that doesn't matter. That's irrelevant to this. When I saw Bryce Harper show up in a Sixers jersey, the Sixers have big loser energy, and they're 7-14 in game 7s. And I'm sure, probably knowing the way things work, the Sixers, after Pat Bev gave him a shout out on his podcast, probably got a Pat Bev jersey to him. And Bryce decided to wear that into the stadium tonight. And it's
not the energy.
It's the synergy that nobody needed or asked for. And I just saw that, and I texted buddies, and I was like, they're losing tonight. Now, I came into the actual game time optimistic, but when I saw the Sixers jersey, I just went, it's all over.
Yeah. I mean, why is that the energy that you're channeling coming into today? A Patrick Beverley Sixers jersey.
I know it doesn't actually equate to the loss, but
it doesn't. But
in my head, I went, "Oh, great, we're losing."
You know what? In a sense, all of these things do matter. I know we were talking about even the fact that this team dancing on my own, and we love all that. All those little details do equate to you losing, because you need to make sure as a team you're bringing the same energy on and off the field. It starts before you step to base. It starts before bat. It starts before you step to the mound. You have to make sure you are consistently always locked in. And to see them have that when they're winning, or to see them have that in a pregame fit, and then you turn around and now you want to come out on the field and you play half behind and you're not there and there's no energy, no life, you're going through the motions, don't know how to play baseball anymore. To me, that's what's the most frustrating, is that this group, when everything is going well, home runs galore. It becomes a home run derby. When shit hits the fan, we see nothing from the Phillies. I still cannot get over the fact that there's nobody that we ever see in the dugout, in the bullpen, that is rallying guys. I don't care what excuses you want to make. That drives me insane. You look at other teams. I
don't think that does anything.
I mean, you got to have somebody that's going to say, guys, let's go. Lock in. Pick this up. We got this. Something. It's just like the blank faces, going through the motion, like you're not even really here. And it's beyond frustrating that this group has continued to disappoint and choke in big moments, especially when they have the pieces and the talent to do it, and they just don't show up.
Well, you know what never disappoints me? And that's Soul Savvy, because I know there's a lot of sneakerheads out there. And the sneaker game has gotten rough in the current climate. And Soul Savvy exists so that the sneakers can get in the hands of the people that want them most, and that's you, the customer, the sneakerhead out there. So don't miss out on the biggest sneaker drops and download the Soul Savvy Drops app. That's SOLESAVY. Soul Savvy has been around since 2018, and their mission is simple. Get the shoes you want in the hands of the people who love them the most. The Drops by Soul Savvy, the Drops app by Soul Savvy, makes it easy to keep up with all the latest news, releases, raffles, and sales in the sneaker world. It's your one-stop shop for everything sneakers. Drop alerts, instant notifications, never miss a release again. You'll get instantly notified whenever your size is available to buy. Free raffle management. Keep track of all the raffles that happen in sneakers with their simple raffle tracker. A release calendar, which is accurate, and the release calendar will keep you updated on releases coming up. Whether you're a casual buyer or a die-hard sneakerhead, Soul Savvy has something for you with 3 different levels: the basic free version, Mobile Plus, or Premium. This Saturday, October 28th, Soul Savvy will be dropping the Air Jordan 12 Cherry shoes. So make sure you check out the Drops app to check them out. Sign up for Soul Savvy by clicking the links in the description or visiting links.soulsavvy.com/PHLY, or head over to the App Store and download the Drops by Soul Savvy app. And I think what do they call it? Retail therapy might be in order.
Retail therapy is a great way to deal with
my wife loves Jordans
losses.
And I know she's down pretty bad, judging by her text messages right now, kind of questioning, like we all are, why we're even sports fans. I could very much see her making some retail therapy purchases this week.
You're about to get some charges on your card. Yeah. I'm looking at some of the chat and comments in the chat, I should say. There's no heart. I know you're moving so fast, but it's okay. I know earlier I saw someone was saying that it felt like, Todd was saying it felt like the Phillies it was always 0-2. Like coming into bat already down 0-2. You never really felt like, every single at bat felt like they were starting 0-2.
They
never really felt like,
a lot of times.
You never felt any sort of confidence. You never were like, this is going to be it. This is going to be the moment. Real time, they did rally. I don't know if we're talking about the same game. Did we? The Phillies rallied? Was that what we call rallying? That's pathetic if so, because that's an awful performance. You're getting struck out every single at bat. There's nothing rallying about that. But the Diamondbacks rallied. Maybe that's who you're referring to, because I don't think that the Phillies had any heart or showed up down the stretch when you're looking at strike, and you can't even find a way to get a hit. Just get a hit. Just keep the inning going. It's pretty rough to see the lack of heart, and definitely disappointing. Yeah. Man.
This is going to be a rough offseason.
It's very much going to be rough.
Because, as great as
it shouldn't be this fast that we're starting the offseason.
No, I fully expected to be doing more game content and post games for another 2 weeks. And now you have to look at this team because they improved from what they were last year. The bullpen was better. Trey Turner was added to this team. Some of your daycare exceeded expectations and kind of stepped up. So if it wasn't good enough these past 2 years,
it's time for change.
Dave Dombrowski and Sam Fold and John Middleton kind of have to do some soul searching, because this is an all-time loss. It's up there with one bloody nil to the Cardinals in 2011. It's up there with the Tampa Bay Bucks in the Vet. To go up 2-0 and then to come back home 3-2. And I'm still kind of in shock talking that the Diamondbacks came in here and they showed way more heart than the Braves ever did. They came into South Philadelphia and shut that stadium up.
Yeah.
The Phillies also shut that stadium up. But the Diamondbacks seemed to kind of come up clutch at every opportunity that presented itself for them.
Yeah, it's crazy because I remember after game 2 just saying, honestly, at that point, I felt like it was going to be a sweep, maybe 5. Didn't ever imagine that the Diamondbacks were going to find a way to come back, because any competitor is going to close that out. Is going to finish that out. Once you go up 2-0 and you win 2 great games at home, obviously going on the road, you're preparing for 3 road games. You just got to win 2 of them. This team, after those two games, really took their foot off the gas. And we talked about needing intensity, needing heart. And we kept saying it over and over again. And it's like you're talking till you're blue in the face because nothing is registering and you're seeing the same thing. This game felt exactly like the other losses. It was no different. And the exact same type of play, it was deja vu and not in a great way. So very disappointing. I know I saw a stat. This is the 4th time since the LCS expanded to best of 7 in 1985 that both the ALCS and NLCS won 7 games in the same year. The first of those years where the road teams won games 6 and 7. Again, making history now on the wrong side of history for the Phillies. These are the things you do not want to have happen. But yeah, I know in the chat you guys are saying this is worse than the Hawks series.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this definitely hurts for sure. I mean, it's way worse than, I don't even know what I would compare it to in terms of.
Yeah, I mean, now I'm
losses.
just thinking about how the Eagles are going to shit on our hearts come January, February. Like, what terrible fashion are we going to be tortured with there?
Yeah, and I agree, Bill. Like, if someone was to say, oh, after game 2, the Phillies are not winning this series, I think that there's no way I'm believing that. There's no way we could have predicted that because they had it and then lost it. But you know what else you can have and lose, and that's always a hero. It's hero bread. Now, hero bread, when you need a hero to step up, it's hero bread because they have some healthy bread options, tortilla. I know we tried some here in the office, and they taste delicious. They're good for you, flavorful, nutritious, high fiber, ultra low net carbs, and 0 grams sugar, which people always love too. It's great that you're eating something delicious, and also it tastes good too. So you can head over to check out Hero Bread. You can use the code PHLY for 10% off at Hero Bread. And when you shop at Hero Bread, get a nice discount on some nutritious, delicious bread, tortilla, whatever it is to spice up. And it's great for every meal of the day. So head on over to Hero Bread. They're offering you guys 10% off for the first order, and that's using code PHLY.
Yeah,
we need a hero. We need a lot of heroes.
Yeah, my man, Real Prince Blue's in the chat, and he's correct. The Diamondbacks essentially dragged their muddy Rick James boots into our house and said, fuck your couch. And they rubbed it all over our couch, and they put our face in it. And Brute Squad Barbecue and all you other Diamondbacks fans in here who aren't celebrating with your own team.
Yeah, I don't know why
we have our sister station at PHNX. Go party with them, because I know if the Phillies party, and the last thing I'm doing is hopping in a Diamondbacks chat. But while you're in here, smash that like button, please. I would much rather be out on Broad Street. But I simply cannot believe it's going to take me a long time. When I see the official number, I think it's probably around 140 with runners in scoring position. WV, yeah, the Phillies choked. I don't know what you want me to say. They fucking sucked at home in game 6 and 7. I'm not making excuses for anyone. They sucked. They blew this series. And Ron Darling, get the Diamondbacks jock out of your mouth. Look, did they come up big and do some fundamental things right and play some small ball and come up clutch at times? Yes. They also didn't hit the cover off the baseball, and they're not reinventing the game. This isn't the 27 Yankees they just lost to. The Phillies shot themselves in the foot and choked at home. It is inexcusable, and it's loser baseball. And it's been the losingest franchise in baseball history, and we continue to see why. Okay? So I'm not making excuses for anyone. They shot themselves in the foot and choked on a big old chicken wing.
1 for 10 with runners in scoring position.
There you go. You got it,
10.
WV. You're welcome.
I mean,
they sucked. I'm not making excuses for anybody. They sucked. Do I have to say it again? They sucked in game 6 and 7. Pathetic game 6 and 7. Mother's Day Sixers energy out of that team, and I didn't think they had it in them. I thought they would respond.
11 strikeouts, 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. And all of a sudden, this is the other annoying part about the Phillies sucking, losing, playing terrible, is now all of a sudden in the chat, We're getting all of these new people. Welcome, I guess. Hit the like button while you're at it. Make sure you're subscribing while you're here. All of a sudden, everybody's got an opinion because when you don't go on and handle business and take care of the games and knock off the teams like the Diamondbacks like you're supposed to, now everybody comes out of the woodworks and has something to say. At the end of the day, this was not a situation, exactly as you're mentioning, where the Phillies just came in here and got blown away and got outplayed. The Phillies did not show up. 4 games this series, they did not show up. They did not play well. You cannot win games scoring 1 run, 2 runs. It's not going to happen. So, yes, we can all say the Phillies choked because they did, and we can fully admit that they choked. But we all thought they would respond. I agree with you, Todd. It's has been Game 3, we're like, okay, Game 4, they'll turn things around. Game 4, they do the same old crap. And then here we are, Game 6, Game 7. Even after Game 6, you're saying there's no way that you would see Game 7 the exact same. Oh, wait, yes, you did. Exact same performance, exact same terrible lack of heart, lack of grit, lack of tenacity, no intensity, no care to want to go on to the World Series because it felt like the Phillies were just sitting back waiting almost for somebody else to make a play. You know what? You got it. Bryce, you got it. Kyle, you got it. Nick, nobody wanted to be the one to go on and make a play. Nobody wanted to be the one to go on and help this team get on the scoreboard. Instead, it was like they were deferring, they were waiting. I don't know if they were waiting for Game 8 because there is no Game 8. This is it. That's a wrap. You're done. Season's over. So at the end of the day, there are no excuses to make except for the Phillies got caught flat, played with no energy, played very much cocky, and almost acted like because they won the first 2 games at home and have won all these games at Citizens Bank Park, no worries, we'll just win when we get back to Citizens Bank Park. Well, you got embarrassed because you lost back-to-back games at Citizens Bank Park. How about that for history? Instead of showing up, winning the games you're supposed to win, and going on to face Texas in the World Series, now your series is over and you look stupid because you've been dancing all over Xfinity and everywhere else, but you can't go on and hit the ball.
Yeah, good luck, MLB, with your terrible toilet ratings you're about to get for the Texas Rangers versus the Arizona Diamondbacks World Series. Enjoy those numbers you're about to get. That's obviously not your fault. That's the Phillies' fault. And Brute, you said I was talking shit on the Diamondbacks. I don't really recall that. I respected the hell out of Ketel Marte and Corbin Carroll. I said should have gotten MVP votes this year. I just thought they were going to lose.
This is also a Philly show, so we're also not going to sit here and
the Phillies were a big favorite, and they were minus 165 tonight. There's no excuses. I mean, did the Diamondbacks play well? Yeah, they did. They played clutch, aggressive baseball, and they were outmanaged. Terry Lovolo outmanaged Rob Thompson, plain and simple.
Yeah.
That's a big part of this. I don't blame Rob Thompson for the loss because when you bat 140 with runners in scoring position for the series and your $700 million players basically go 0 for 23 at home in the final 2 games, you weren't going to win squat, and you deserve squat. So, it is what it is. The Phillies didn't deserve to win. They weren't the better team, and now we just get to think about it for months and months and wonder why we're sports fans. That's fun.
Yeah, and obviously as a Phillies show, this is not a Major League Baseball show, so we don't have to be unbiased. Our job here is not to talk about the opponents in a positive way. I don't know if any of you have ever been on a show before, but our job is not to come in here and blow sunshines and rainbows and daisies up the asses of Marte and Corbin Carroll, because that's not what this show is. That's what the PHNX Diamondbacks show is actually about. If you want to go see people that are going to toot the horn of the Diamondbacks, this is not it. But we are absolutely coming into this expecting, because of the fact that the Phillies should have won this, could have won this, and would have won this if they actually showed up. They just had to show up for one more game. That's it. They actually played like crap in 3 games, lost those games. Had they just shown up for one more game yesterday or today, pick one, it's the Phillies going to the World Series. But lack of adjustments, lack of heart, inability to hit the ball, it all comes to a head because they blew it. They choked. It's that simple. And we can absolutely admit that they did, because unless you weren't watching the game, I don't know what else looks like a choke artist performance than what we just saw today.
Well, thanks to Shane from Phoenix for the super chat there. Tyler, if you can scroll up for a second. He says, I've heard a lot of epic rants on ALLCITY shows over the past couple of years, but that was top tier, Renee. Love from PHNX.
Oh, thank you.
Look, I don't hate the Diamondbacks. Go beat the Rangers. I don't give a damn. I'm not going to be, no, I can't say that. I'm going to be watching the World Series. I'm going to torture myself because being a sports fan is torture. And if you Diamondbacks fans in the chat want to get tickets for your upcoming World Series, I know a great place to do it. Game Time. Use code PHLY while you're out there. Do us the favor and pay it forward. Get some good karma. Use code PHLY for $20 off your first purchase. It's the best place, the least stressful place to get tickets. One of our diehards, Mickey Durkin, used it here locally. Tyler's mom recently used it to go to Queen. You want to go to comedy shows, concerts, sporting events, they got you covered. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. They have killer deals on last-minute tickets and the best price guarantee. You can stop stressing. Tyler's mom was rocking out of Queen last weekend. She used that code PHLY. So be like Tyler's mom and use Game Time. They have flash deals and last-minute tickets, easy to find and buy. Everything is as simple can be with the Game Time app. Snag the tickets without the stress of Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use that code PHLY for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code PHLY for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Go enjoy your World Series, Diamondbacks. And look, I'll even be the bigger man. I'll cheer for you.
Will you?
No, I won't.
I'm not cheering for anybody.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna hate watch
whoever
it.
Whoever wins.
Well, here's why I will. I'd rather lose to the champion than lose to the runner-up. Is that fair?
I hate that crap.
Well, look,
But yes,
I know, but we're
thing.
Philadelphia sports fans, and we have to justify our loserdom. So yeah, I'd rather lose to the champ than lose to the runner-up.
Yeah, I guess. I know, Rochelle, you're saying we knew the changes. Unfortunately, it's not our call. Yeah, we've talked a lot about changes. I know somebody was asking in the chat, what changes would you make for next year?
You need to go smaller ball.
There's a good amount of changes that I would make. But you know what? Today is just day one. We've got a whole off season. And we've got lots of time to be able to talk about.
I don't know if
changes.
you can count on that many slutty himbos just swinging for the fences.
Yeah, there's got to be it can't be a home run or bust mentality. That's got to go.
Yeah,
that's one of the main things that I'm starting with to change.
The thing tonight was you lost on small ball. You lost on fundamental opportunities to take advantage of runners in scoring position. You didn't need home runs tonight. You needed a clutch single or a clutch fly ball or a clutch bunt that ties the game. And who knows if it gets tied up 3-3 there with Harper's, deep fly ball to left field, it might be a totally different game. So it was just pure pain and misery and torturous. And I had a bad feeling once we got to the fourth or fifth inning. Ranger Suarez was pretty damn good tonight. Can't fault him at all. That he's as cool as the other side of the pillow.
Yeah. I mean, fourth inning. It was 2-1. Phillies were still in the lead. Bases were loaded. That's when Johan Rojas was up to bat, and nothing came of that. I mean, these are the types of things you cannot continue. Forget just runners in scoring position. You have bases loaded. You're up a run. You have a chance to at least go up 2 runs. Get a nice, comfortable insurance run in there, maybe 2. These are the types of things that the Phillies have done all season. This is not anything new. This is something we've seen all season. And it again came back to bite the Phillies today in a must-win game because you aren't able to keep the inning alive. You just need to keep the inning alive at that point. So there's a lot of things that, when you really take a step back, well, not a lot. It's very small things that you're talking about, fundamental things. But there's a good amount of things that need to change. But I don't know what's actually going to change. What we think should change is different from what's actually going to be done. And that's where we just have to sit back and wait and hope that maybe the boos, I know somebody was talking about fans left early in the 6th game and stayed after in the 7th to boo. Yeah, because we're not happy. If you're there as a fan, just like the rest of us watching on TV, you're not happy. You're going to make sure they can hear you and let them know this is unacceptable. What are you going to do? Are you supposed to stay after game 7 when you lose game 7 at home and cheer? What are you supposed to do? You boo. They choked. They lost. They blew it. They dropped 2 games at home. You let them know this is unacceptable. We're holding y'all accountable just like, we would like the Phillies to hold each other accountable. So, yeah, absolutely. Boo, because this was not a good showing, not a good ending to the season, and very overall disappointing. And you can go through the batting order, the bullpen, you can go through a lot of names, and there's just players that had disappointing performances in what's considered, it's once a must-win game, and you didn't even show up.
You know what is going to really bother me all off season?
That.
Garrett Stubbs' comments.
Yeah.
Because I know you were kind of talking about like motivation and life, and Garrett Stubbs' comments gave the Diamondbacks new life. And yeah, I mean, Chris just said it. Orlando Arcia said it to, Bryce Harper, and that gave the Phillies life, and they came out and smashed. Garrett Stubbs should have never opened his mouth. I know it was, picked up media scrum in the locker room and everybody's available. And I think it was maybe Scott Lawbury sat down with who was asking him the questions. Don't say that. You talked about the cockiness earlier. I don't need cockiness from somebody that's not going to contribute in the games.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a super chat.
Got a lot of super chats tonight.
Yeah,
just
I think
like
it's
us getting bounced from the postseason to get some more super chats.
It's probably because Diamondbacks fans don't have anywhere to go. Like they don't have a communal like
Todd,
broad street.
$9.99 just to make your comment. Joe,
yeah, so let me read it
Decavales.
since he did pay it, Joe. Why can't Philly fans face reality? Their lineup is top heavy. You get past the first 3 batters and the rest are mid at best. Diamondbacks are a much more balanced team. They deserve it. All right, let's break this down. First of all, Trey Turner and Bryce Harper shit the bed in games 6 and 7. I don't think there's been an excuse made for any of them all game. Nick Castellanos, who you claim is mids at best, had 100 RBIs. Alec Boehm, who you claim is terrible, had 100 RBIs and was the team's best runner in scoring position hitter throughout the season. JT Realmuto is probably the best catcher in baseball from top to bottom, that for some reason wouldn't get off his freaking knees tonight when people were stealing bases on him. That's another point. They are not mid. They choked. And you weirdos, go celebrate with Diamondbacks fans. Like, honestly, I don't understand. You want to drink up my tears? Ooh, is this enjoyable for you? Get lost.
I'm with Todd. Someone paid money to say the Diamondbacks are a more balanced team.
You were -7 run differential this year. You caught playoff baseball magic. Go enjoy it. Go to Old Town Scottsdale. Get the hell out of here.
And this is why this loss hurts so badly. You know what? There's multiple ways to lose a game. You can have those down to the wire, back and forth games where both teams are just going at it and just somebody has to lose. And you're at the end of that game like, whew, that was a great game, even though I may have been on the wrong side of that result. Then you have the other games, like this one, where one team shows up, one team does not show up. And you're watching inning after inning after inning. 2 games in a row. It was 3 and 4. It was 6 and 7. When you're watching inning after inning, waiting. Okay, Phillies, game has started. Okay, Phillies, now's a great time to get a hit. Okay, Phillies, now's a great time to do something. So it's not about being mid, because as you talk about statistically, this team is definitely not that. It's just that they didn't show up. And I don't know how many times I can say that or spell that out. Maybe I should spell it out. The Phillies did not show up. The Phillies got cocky because they won the first 2 games and felt like that was it. I've done enough. Series over. And then lost 4 of the next 5. You cannot just be on cruise control in the playoffs because every team is out there ready to knock you off. And the Phillies got smacked in the face. And it almost felt, I know we even talked about it too, it felt like after beating the Braves, knocking them off, and then you come out and you win the first 2 games, the Phillies were like, that's enough, we're done, we've done enough. And you just didn't show up the rest of the series. So I don't think it's about them being mid. Now, I still feel like there need to be changes because I'm tired of this home run or bust mentality. I'm tired of the fact that the team sucks and nobody is able to do anything. It can't be like either home run derby or you look like 5-year-olds out there. Like, we need something in the middle. So absolutely need some changes, but it's not a mid batting order. It's just they weren't there. You can't win if you're not scoring. You can't win if you won't swing. You can't win if you're not going to do anything, if you're not going to get hits. Yeah, no.
J Float, yeah, I am salty. The Phillies choked. Is that what you want to hear?
I don't
Go
understand.
celebrate with the Diamondbacks fans, you absolute stone weirdos.
I don't know how you're supposed to react.
Lost.
How are you supposed to?
What do you
How do you
want from us? The Phillies choked. They blew it. They shit themselves. What would you like me to say? Go enjoy it with your fellow fans and stop being a weirdo.
Well, the real fans, if you want to support your teams, you can head over to FOCO, buy merchandise to be able to rock some gear to go cheer on your actual teams, and be able to wear overalls, jackets, shirts, buy some bobbleheads, whatever the heck you want to buy. Go on over to FOCO, use that code PHLY, get 10% off, go support your team, and make sure that you're cheering them on, because a lot of you guys need to learn how to cheer on your actual team instead of just being so quick to jump into the chat here right now and I don't know how we're supposed to react.
And by the way,
I don't know.
The Seattle Mariners should be tried for war crimes. What the hell are they doing trading a lights-out closer in Paul Sewald when they were contending at the trade deadline? Screw you, Seattle Mariners. I hope you rot in hell.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
And Rob Thompson, yeah, can we time travel back to Game 4 and you just do everything different? Like never put Craig Kimbrell in a freaking game? There's a reason the Dodgers left him off of a World Series roster. Now I'm getting into the anger phase. And thank you, Diamondbacks fans, for sending me here. I thought I could just...
They'd love to buy you a drink.
Yeah,
Jay's
I thought I could just commiserate with
some...
some Phillies fans and get my tears out. But now you people are pushing me into a corner, and now I'm getting pissed off, and I'm probably not going to sleep tonight because I'm just going to be pacing around my house, maybe drinking. I don't know. Maybe I'll just drink for the next 24 hours, and you'll see me blacked out on air tomorrow. That's where I'm at. I'm doing great. I hope you enjoy this, Diamondbacks fans. I know sports are new to you guys out there.
I don't know.
Yeah, he was terrible for the Mariners. They traded him, and he's lights out.
Yeah, was it him or was it them? Because I don't see any issues right now with Sewald. It's
break down the Mimbos and go get a bunch of singles hitters. I'm done with this roster construction.
There's a lot of things. Games 3 and 4, we were hoping that in those moments when Orion and Craig helped, everything just went left and you started giving up runs and you couldn't close things out. We were hoping that Craig Kimbrell wasn't going to come back to bite us, and here we are.
Take dancing on my own and bottle it up and send it to the fucking sun. No
more dancing.
Take Craig Kimbrell and fire him to the moon. They need a closer. And maybe it's Alvarado.
Mets fans. We even got a Mets fan here. Good Lord, guys. Good Lord.
Well, yeah,
we are bringing them all in there. I know everyone's salivating because the Phillies choked, and you've been waiting for this moment because you've been lurking around looking for opportunities to come in and talk about the Phillies because your teams aren't playing. And now here you've got it. The Phillies gave you exactly what you wanted. Exactly. This is why I am pissed off. It's about more than just the World Series. It's the fact that you now give all these other slimy fake fans an opportunity to say, oh my gosh, the Phillies, blah, 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 blah. The Phillies should have won. The Phillies should be headed to the World Series. The Phillies honestly have a team built to win the World Series. But it does not matter because they choked. They embarrassed us. We said it. We've talked about it. There's only so many ways you can carve it up. You just completely did not show up. The songs got to go. The walk-up songs got to go. The overalls got to go.
One more time.
I'm not A-OK. We don't want to hear A-OK. It's bad. It's B-A-D. It's not A-OK. It's time for it all to go. Start over. Figure it out. Rob, figure it out. I don't care this whole lead by example. I trust everybody. Do you trust everybody? Because look where we're sitting right now. How's that for
Somebody
your
just
trust?
tweeted me, if you take out the home run explosion in Game 5, in Games 3, 4, 6, and 7, they scored 9 runs. Super chat from Daniel Wren. Thank you for the money. I blame Blue Jays too. Traded Moreno for nothing. Moreno, I hate. It seemed like he got a hit every single time he was up.
Yeah, I've got some really disgusting stats, but today's not the day for that. I think we're gonna wait until our show tomorrow to really break down the numbers because I'm
afraid to read the numbers on how bad.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
I mean,
it's very bad.
Roughly a 140 batting average with runners in scoring position. You're not gonna win anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah. It's pretty bad, especially when you were up the first 2 games in total 15-3 that you won the first 2 games. And then had 3 games where you scored 4 runs total in the NLCS in 7 games that we've got receipts, we've got numbers.
Nick Castellanos was what, like 0 for 23 this series? Or no, I'm sorry, the last 3 games.
Oh,
or
the
4
last
games.
3.
Because he had 1 hit in the first game, and then that was it. He was pretty much 0 for the rest of the series.
Yeah, he was 0 for the rest. So,
yeah, whatever the hell that is. That's great. $100 million.
Mm-hmm. Again, here we are.
All right, you political weirdos in the chat, get lost.
Oh, my God.
Just can't Phillies fans have a safe space where we can just lick our wounds and cry? Leave us alone. Everybody go home.
Is this what you... Fuck that. Listen, we've been here before. At the end of the day, we have been here before. Pain is nothing new to us.
You can't hurt us.
It's only, what is it like? Your hate is just motivation for us because we're used to this as anybody that's followed.
You can't hate me more than I hate myself for being a Phillies fan.
As anybody that follows any Phillies sports teams, are we surprised? If anything, we should be surprised that they waited until so long to really slip the rug out from under us. Look at the Sixers. Look at the Fly Guys. I mean, it just happened before. Look at the Union. Look at the Eagles. Happened before. So we're not new to this. Is not new for us. We're not okay, but we know how to deal with this. And you guys can hit the like button, subscribe, follow. Make sure you're tuning in. We will actually take time to get into numbers. We have to process this a little bit more. And it might take us to process this. It might take us some time, but we will get there. We will get there. Oh wow. There's more people coming in. Yeah, we do need a safe space, Sam, but I don't think you're saying that in a very honest way. So cool. Listen, thank you guys for tuning in. Like, subscribe, follow, or don't. We'll be back for more PHLY Phillies podcast, bringing you more Phillies talk. Oh, Sean just comes in at the end for the final.
We'll celebrate with Diamondbacks fans.
Sean pops in the chat.
I'm out of here.
I remember when this chat was confident a few days ago. Yeah, we all remember. We all remember. It's not our fault that the Phillies decided to choke, okay?
Chris just got your ass. Your hockey team plays out of college.
Bingo.
Boom.
Get a real rank.
Yeah, take that over winning the NLCS. Screw you guys.
Jamie Lynch, Renee Washington, Tyler Zuley. JB's walked off.
Screw the Phillies. I hate this.
We'll have more, I think. We'll have more coming soon in more days to come because we've got nothing but time now to talk about how frustrating this NLCS performance was in the series as a whole. So thank you, Phillies. Thank you. Have a good night, guys, or don't. See you next time.
We all silly like the mayor.